What's up, man?
What's up, brother?
There we go.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you pretty good.
I forgot my headphones. My son is going to bring them right now to my office.
It's all good, bro. How are
Yeah.
you?
Good, you?
Good, man. Excited to have you back on.
Hey, at least now it's just me.
Yeah, I know, right? At least now it's just you.
Yeah.
Oh, man, look at you flexing back there. Is that a Mark 7 sticking over back there? What is that?
Revolution.
Yeah. I'm rich. I got a Mark 7. Nah, I got one.
You should have 3 or 4, dude.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna get
Right?
one. Yeah, I've already been talking to him. I think I'm about to have one on the way.
Cool. You'll like it.
Yeah, I think so. But so man, let's get into it. So last time we had you on, we went over, your background and everything and how you got into shooting. But now we got a new topic of discussion. You're running for Area 4 director.
Yes, sir.
So what kind of made you want to do that? It's a lot. It's a volunteer. You're basically volunteering to put up with everybody's shit.
I know. Well, the sport's been very good to me, dude, and I thought of giving back, so I'm like, well, let me try and see if I can get in, let's see who's running, what's happening. And there was some more people running when I decided to run, and then some of them quit, and it ended up being just two of us. But I guess it's just to give back to the sport, dude. I love the sport, and I think that good new ideas,
I like it. I
Yeah.
like it, man. Yeah, because you're definitely not doing it for the money.
Oh,
Because there
no,
basically is none.
definitely not.
So what are your core foundations you're kind of running on, I guess you would say?
Well, I guess basically, I was pressing the button while you were talking. You saw that, right? So you went off. I heard
Yeah.
half the question, and what was the question?
So what are your kind of core foundations you're running on? Like what are you trying to bring to the table? What are some ideas that you're kind of
Well,
kicking
more than
around?
anything else, Trevor, I think that there's need more communication with the clubs, right? We have 55 clubs in Area 4. Without due respect, I never knew the last Area 4 director. He probably did a good job. I don't know, but I think we need more communication. I have not. I'm going to be honest. I have not been able to go see all the clubs. I have not been able to talk to all the directors. I mean, not the directors, but the area coordinators. But that's one of the main ideas right now in my case is talking to the people, seeing what they want, and then actually coming into USPSA and see what I can do. I don't know how it works in there while you're in there already. I'm always seeing it from the outside. So that's one of them. The other thing I need to, I'd like to try and do different is try to find different sponsors, man. They don't have to always be the same sponsors, that are into shooting. I think we need to go and explore other sponsors, you know. I actually talked to LNF Distributors, which is one of the biggest Budweiser distributors here in South Texas. And
Yeah.
I fly for them. As a matter of fact, I substitute for them in their airplane when they need a pilot. And I called the other day and I said, hey, would you be willing to, for the Infinity Open that's been canceled, I said, hey, is there any way you can sponsor something like this? And they said, why not? I said, because it's beer. And then they said, well, it doesn't have to be beer. Remember that we distribute all kinds of things. We distribute water. We distribute all kinds of stuff. The only thing is you have to be in our zone. Okay? So it would have to be in a match in all the border of South Texas where they control all that. Because if not, you have to go with the other distributor that's in the other part of Texas or whatever. But I think that that's one of the other things. As you recall, I didn't really pay attention back then, but remember that Three Gun Nation had good sponsors, man. They
Oh
had,
yeah.
and I don't see why. Maybe people are gonna think I'm crazy, but I seriously think we can do something like that.
I do too. I've been saying the same thing for quite a while. So I'm a firm believer in it. I think we can bring a lot of outside sponsors into the mix and have something to offer them. But there has to be obviously a marketing push to make it worth it for them. So
Right.
how do you feel, or how do you intend to improve the marketing for shooting in the area once you become the area 4 director?
Jesus, I thought that uh, sh- Bill, what's his name for this
Duda.
podcast? Bill Dude, I thought he was going to be hard. You're harder. Okay, so what was the question? I deviated.
So basically, if we're going to bring on bigger sponsors, we've got to have the marketing to be able to support it for it to be worth it to them, right?
Definitely.
Unless they can sell on site whenever they're there, right? Unless they can have some type of um, booth that is retailing on site, how do you plan on marketing the USPSA in your area to get those sponsors to feel like it's worth it for them?
I don't know, man. I think it's a matter of getting all the area directors to talk about it. Maybe they know that it can be done, and I'm coming in with crazy ideas. But I think that we need to get together one way or another, and try to get new sponsors, dude. And I hear you exactly. What are we gonna give them
Yep.
that they can't get from somebody else or from an easier sport, right? And easier sport, I'm saying baseball, football, and all that sells itself. Shooting has always been a taboo. So, but we'll find out when I'm in there, dude.
I like it.
Not,
I like it, man. I've always felt, man, in the day and age we live in, it'd be so easy to market matches.
well, you mean money wise in the
No, no, no,
aspect
no.
of,
I mean, like, say for the Area 4 championship, right?
uh-huh, uh-huh.
When you settle the date on the Area 4 championship, you can go to local radio stations, news stations. You can go to local gun shops in the areas around where the match is going to be, put out flyers, talk to the staff, see if you can pitch it, and then have spectators.
Right.
You have spectators and then set up a vendor area. It's super easy to,
And you know
it's,
what? That's exactly what's going to happen with the Infinity Open. Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly what you're saying.
yeah.
And the
I'm
other
sad
thing
that
was,
match isn't happening.
well, it's going to happen in 2023, dude. You know all the stuff that happened, and it was better just to do it that way.
Yeah,
But that's the idea, man. I mean, to bring it's like you say, sometimes nationals doesn't feel like nationals.
yeah.
There's not enough vendors. There's all this kind of stuff. That's what they were going to try and do in Gordon. Try and bring all these people. But how do you attract more people to the match?
You have better marketing.
You
You have to
Yeah,
market the
but you
match.
but
Think about the way that we market matches right now. We put it out on Practice Score. We put it out on USPSA's website. That's it.
here's the thing that I see. When I first started shooting 8 years ago, excuse me. When I first started shooting 8 years ago, there was the Cowtown. Why are
Yep.
you laughing?
Somebody put strippers in the chat.
Oh, I didn't even pay attention, dude. I'm like, what is he laughing at? Anyway,
Somebody put strippers in the bottom.
so um, you know, when I first started, you had the Cowtown.
Hmm.
They had awesome price table. You know,
Yep.
many times I went to the one in New Orleans, not in New Orleans, but in Louisiana, the Louisiana
The Gator.
the Gator.
Yep.
Great match, great prices. A lot of people tend to go for the prices, right? Well, a lot of those matches just started getting worse and worse and worse in their price tables. Why worry about prices when you should give money? Period.
Well, if they would have, I've always felt if they would have done that, if they would have took advantage of that, it could have been a way to get outside influence. Because if you just do cash, right? Cash, you're going to attract the heavy hitters. You're going to attract
But
the
you
people
but
who are
you but you
serious.
have to give money to everyone, dude, in every
Yes,
class.
yes, but you're going to have the best people in that class coming from all over, and the people who may not be good in that class, who just they're a C, but they're just not even close up to par with winning C. they're not going to show up because they're like, why would I go waste the money? I'm not getting that cash payout, right? They got to come for an incentive. So I like the idea of a prize table, but you got to market that. You got to be like, hey, I'm having this match. We've got X amount of money of prizes. We've got X amount of people are going to walk. Say there's 600 people shooting the match. Hey, guess what? 450 are walking away with prizes. Like if you're going to blow this up, you got to make it an event. And you got to say, we're giving away, 40 guns and we're giving away 4 presses and whatever. It's got to be a big deal. But they don't do that. Like, that's why Area 2 is so popular. Think about the prize table
I'll
for
tell you
Area
what,
2.
man, I was surprised with Area 2, dude. I was surprised. I mean, I was second senior this year, and I ended up with a gun.
Yep.
I could not believe it,
I've
because I
yet
don't
to go to
remember.
Area 2 without coming home with a gun.
I'm like, wow. I could not believe Area 2. I had been to
Yeah.
Area 2 the year before when it was cold, remember?
Mm-hmm.
I did great in that match. I won that time senior that year. Leighton won this year. I forgot what I got for a price on the other one, but this past one, I was really surprised, dude, that I got a gun. And I don't know what overall where I ended up, but evidently they know what they're doing to have so many prices,
Yeah,
because
you can still go ahead.
I have been to so many matches, Trevor. There were so good matches, and now they just completely died. Completely died. The
Yeah.
prices are not what it used to be. Now, mind you, in my case, I don't go for the prices. You right?
Yeah.
I did like the gun I got from Area 2. That was, but let's be honest. Of the people that shoot all the time, like you and I, they go to so many matches all over the country. What have you gotten that you really stay with, or not give away, or throw
Honest,
away, or
honestly, every single gun that I've won, and there's been a lot of them, I sell before I leave.
no? Well, but let's forget guns, because not everybody has a lot of guns to give away.
Yeah.
But
I
how
think
many
the I
times do
think
you get other stuff? You get a certificate, you get
yeah,
this, and I appreciate
ammo.
that.
Yeah.
And there might be people that really appreciate that.
Yeah,
But of
yeah.
the people that we always go to so many matches, if you don't get a gun, you really don't care about the other stuff, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you would get $100 cash, $200 cash, $300 cash, isn't it that better? Oh, this pays for my rent a car, or this pays for my hotel, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that so here's the thing. I remember when I first started shooting, any prize, I was like, what? Right? Now I'm at the point where I'm like, cash would be nice to reimburse me for the expenses, right? And I get reimbursed for my expenses most of the time, just being open and honest, right? So it's not a big deal. But if I got cash, that's money in my pocket, right?
Right,
So
right.
I think winners of the classes and winners of the match pay them cash. Everyone else, give them a prize, make it
Right.
worth it, bring the
I,
sponsors
I
on.
think I think that would bring in a lot of more people, man. I really do.
Yeah,
I
but you
used
got
to
to,
remember,
it's got to be marketed, right? The
right,
reason
of course.
Area 2 sells out in 35 seconds is because it's been around for a while and people know about it. People know that
Right.
prize table's there. People know the quality of the match. But if you have a match that isn't known for that and you want to make it known for that, you got to, one, get the match sold out, right? Or close to. And then as soon as you've got a hell of a lot of signups, you need to approach sponsors and say, hey, this is how many people are going to be there. We're also
You
marketing
know,
it in
you,
these areas. We're going to put a vendor booth. We need X amount of prizes, and we're going to tell the whole world how awesome this
you
match
know
is
the
going to be.
problem with that is that a lot of sponsors don't want to sponsor a new match. That's what makes it harder.
Yeah,
Been there, done that. But
yeah,
no, definitely Area 2 Championship. They know how to do their stuff, man. It's amazing what they have over there.
yeah, for real. Yeah.
Yep.
And so what are your plans if you do get elected for Area 4? Do you have any plans to try to expand it to make it like Area 2? Because the Area 4 Championship has been a good match. I've enjoyed shooting it, but it's not on Area 2's level, I wouldn't say at all.
I have shot most of the area matches, and I seriously do not believe that nobody comes close to Area 2.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I've
That's
never done Area 1, and let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've done all of them except Area 1. I have
Yeah.
no idea about what happens in Area 1, but
I believe Area
I,
1 is the only one I haven't shot also.
I don't think that nobody comes close to Area 2, man. Whatever they're doing, I got to find out and try to do it in Area 4.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
It's
think
funny because a lot of people have called me, hey, where are we going to do the match in the next Area 4, you know? I'm like, man, let me get in and see how many years in advance they're already tied up or what's going on, right? I think it's 1 or
yeah,
2 years in advance, you know? So, yeah,
I think there's a lot of I think there's a lot of expectation people have, but you have a willingness to want to do the job, which is half the battle, and you're an intelligent person, and you're also a competitor, and you've also been involved in the sport on multiple levels. Like I know that you are heavily involved in SASP and all that, right? So you obviously have a willingness to want to volunteer your time and effort into the sport. But in reality, unless somebody's been an area director or they're already in that position, they don't really know what it entails, right? But you have the insight because you know all those guys, you've talked to them. I'm sure you've gotten your lay of the land. But as far as who's committed to what, I mean, there's no point in promising Area 4 is going to be somewhere right now until you're in the
exactly.
job because you don't know what's going to happen.
And that's what I said all the time with Bill Duda. It was the same thing. I said, you know, that I can sit here and say so many things, but until I'm in there, I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know what can be done, what cannot be done. Maybe I get there and they shut you up right away, you know? And I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been seeing it from the outside only, you know?
Yeah. I will say probably the best piece of advice I could give you would be don't lose yourself. Don't conform to anyone else's agenda.
Right,
Come in
right.
with something and
Yeah,
stick to
no,
it.
I have a mind of my own.
Oh, I know. That's why I'm excited
And,
for you
and,
to
and,
run.
I am going to try to be as neutral as possible. You know, somebody came around and started making a big deal that I was Infinity and that I could not belong to a company, be sponsored by a company and be an area director. And of course I checked it and yes, you can. I just
Hmm.
cannot vote on anything that has to do with Infinity, right? I mean,
Yeah.
right. Now that doesn't mean that because I belong to a company, I'm going to be pushing their agenda. I think that what needs to be done is what the public wants, what the membership wants, you know? You
Yep.
got to listen to the membership, see what they want, and see what we can do for them. Period. And
Yep.
for the clubs, you know, I think there's, I think there's a lot of clubs that want to do a good job, but they don't know how to do it, and there's nobody to tell you how to do it.
Yep.
You're there on your own, dude. You know. Let me tell you a little story, man. I don't want to deviate, but when I made my range, I bought my range from Action Target, 20 lane indoor range, right? Next thing you know, I'm swimming in brass and I'm swimming in lead, range lead. Nobody told me about that. It's something that you never think about. Of course, made a lot of money with it because it's a commodity, right? But those are the kinds of things that nobody tells you what's up. And I feel that there's a lot of clubs that, yeah, let's make a match, let's do this, let's do that, but they don't know how to do it. Or they
Yep.
don't know how to run it correctly. And then people don't come, you know? A lot of the things that I felt, this is just an example, in San Antonio. You've shot San Antonio with me, with
Hmm.
Kyle Riojas and them. I love Kyle. So my best practice match of the month is San Antonio. Why? Because it's made by an open shooter. He puts a lot of wild swingers, which I hate them, but I love them at the same time because I got to learn how to
Yeah.
shoot the damn things, right? Sometimes they're circus acts, but it is what it is, right? Well, here's the thing, man. All of a sudden, they started making the match extremely hard. All kinds of no shoots, all kinds of hard cover. And I started noticing that from 80, 90 shooters a month, they started going to 50, 45. I'm like, what's wrong with the picture, dude? Sometimes I feel they think they got to do things very, very hard to make people come. And I think what it does is unattractive for the people that can't shoot good, that they
Hmm.
just want to go and have fun. I don't think they feel that 15, 20 mics is fun. It's a ridicule to them, and then they don't come back.
Yeah.
And I called it, the round table over there, and I said, hey, this is my feeling. I'm not saying I need to shoot stuff that's easy, but I think it's just getting too hard for your regular weekend shooter, and they're not coming anymore.
Yeah.
And the same thing goes for people that might be they want to put a good match, but they don't know how to do it. You know.
Yeah.
So I think those are the important things that we need to look into and try to help. Now I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, when Foley was running for president, you know, I remember I read or I heard him say that he was going to give steel to the new clubs to start them out and this and that. I never saw none of that stuff. Why didn't it happen? I don't know. I'd like to find out, stuff like that. Because if we can help, new clubs get started, I'm willing to go and help them start a club and tell them how to do it.
Yeah, I've been saying for a while, I think we need to have some type of resource for the people running these clubs. If they need steel, they need paper, they need walls, they need swingers, whatever, barrels even. I mean,
Right,
even though barrels are relatively easy to find.
right,
But if they need any of that stuff, there should be a resource for them to go on USPSA's website. As a club director, you should be able to access that and go, okay, if I want targets, I'm in Houston area or I'm in Texas. Okay, there's Contact. Contact gives me 15, 20% off on targets if I buy X amount, right? I mean, or, ATR, right? He's based out of San Antonio. He makes probably the best steel in USPSA. I mean, he's amazing. And he's
yeah,
right there in San Antonio. He's a competitor. And
right.
he donates a lot of steel to his local club. So why not get with him? Hey, let's get a discount code for USPSA club presidents to be able to get your steel on a discount, right? I mean, there's
Right,
ways to
right.
go about it, but I just don't
I
think anyone's pulled the trigger. I know me and
uh,
you have had that conversation, and I know you're considering pushing for that, but
I've had it. I have it on my questions and answers of USPSA. Maybe have a website. Like right now, they did that website where you can go and get stages.
mm-hmm.
I think that's awesome because a lot of times people just run out of up here and don't know
Yeah,
what
you run out of
stages are there.
ideas.
Right. But now having that's awesome. But I think that Area 4 or all the areas could have a bank of information for all the little clubs to learn.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
it's
there's
one
definitely
of
got to be a how-to.
exactly. Yep. Hey, you don't mind if I go close my front door real quick?
No,
My
get after it,
son,
brother.
yeah, I'll be right back, dude. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go ahead. So, guys, if you have any questions you want answered, y'all throw them up in the questionnaire or down here, and we'll answer them. But I think definitely there needs to be a way for clubs to be able to expand. And I've always thought it should also we should also have a way to market it better because most of USPSA's marketing is word of mouth from the members. You know, that's how clubs grow is word of mouth from the members. And I feel like if you're a club president in an area or you're an area director, and this could be something that you could also do is get with your club presidents and say, hey, if you're running a club and you're in X area and there's ranges or anything in your area, post flyers, come out, do it's easy to pop right in for you could go to local gun shows and market it. You don't have to be USPSA brass to go do that. If you're a club president and there's a gun show in your area, go set up a little pop up booth. Get with USPSA. I'm sure they'd reimburse it. And tell them about the club. Tell them about USPSA.
Flyers with strippers.
Yeah, yeah, he's all about that. Yeah, yeah. There definitely needs to be some type of program for that. I think.
Definitely. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I think
Hmm.
there's definitely a way to do it where it makes sense. But all right, let's move on to so what are your expectations, do you think, when you get in there? I mean, assuming you get in, which I'm by all accounts I think is going to be the case. But
I have no idea. I have no idea. I had somebody from the high command call me not too long ago from USPSA and actually said, "Hey, some of the members or some of the directors are asking, are you running for you or are you running for Infinity?" I said, "If I tell you I'm not, you're probably not going to believe me. If I tell you I do, it is what it is, right? All I can tell you is I want to pay back to USPSA. It's a sport that's been good to me, and I'd like to continue to grow it, and I'd like to be part of it. And that's it." And of course, I was having, let's see, I was shooting in Florida, the Florida Open. We had just finished shooting. And Brian Conley, we went to have dinner, and it was Brian Conley and Bobby McGee. And Bobby McGee's, "Don't do it." I'm going to do it. "Don't do it." And Bobby's just trying to convince me not to do it, and I'm like, "Nah, dude, I got to pay back. I'm going to do it. See what happens."
if I recall, when we were all at SHOT Show, I'm pretty sure that me and Brandon told you the same thing. Don't do it. Not worth it.
I know, right?
So I don't see how you could be running for Infinity when the owner of Infinity's like, bro, what are you doing? You do not want that job. So
I know.
people, we had this discussion before you even shot for them when I first met you, because we were talking about Area 4, and you had mentioned wanting to run back then, and I was like, mm-mm, mm-mm, don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
But you're ignoring all of your friends for the better of USPSA. So I mean, people need to respect that to a certain extent, because
yeah,
listen, it's a thankless job. Anytime anything goes right, it's not because of you. And anytime anything goes wrong, it's all your
it's
fault.
you. Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
exactly how it's been forever, and nobody's changing it anytime soon.
That's right.
And it's listen, I'm in Area 4, and it might be 20 or 30 years before I even decide that job is even worth my time. And
Well,
I don't think it ever will be.
that's the thing, dude. I'm gonna be 57 in August, so I either do it now or when am I gonna do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, it might be hard to concentrate when you're gonna go shoot or something, and you have people giving you all kinds of problems or ideas or whatever. But I guess we'll tackle it. I'll
Oh,
just think
dude,
it was. I'll just
me
think it
and
was my wife bitching at me, and I'll go in my bubble, and that's it. Which that happens a lot. I'm used to
yeah,
it.
yeah. Well, me and you have been with Leighton quite a bit whenever he's shooting, and no thanks.
Yeah,
It
there
seems
was
like
a
every stage, a couple of people come over and
something
start talking
happens,
to him
right?
about something, and then
I
he's got
know.
to go talk to him and misses walking the stages. And I was
Yeah,
like,
I
dude,
know.
if I were you, I would tell them to fuck right off. Like, talk to me after the match, you know?
Right, right. Well, I think it's out of respect for the shooter, man.
Yeah, yeah,
It should be like that, and then at the end of the match or at the beginning of the match, but probably at the end of the match is better instead of being worried if they tell you something at the beginning of the match. But at the end of the match, come tell me everything and let's do it. But yeah, it's probably gonna be hard at times to concentrate because, like you
yeah.
said, I've seen Leighton, dude. I've seen Leighton go crazy with that stuff, man.
Dude, I've
You know,
seen like Chad, who's the current Area 4 guy. I've shot with him before, and when he's MD in the match and also the Area 4 director and everything else, and I'm like, fuck that.
mm-hmm.
No, thank you. So
Yeah,
kudos to you for wanting to do it, because everybody's over here saying, hey, of course, everybody running, every single candidate has an agenda, according to everybody on the internet. I don't think I've seen one candidate for anything where everybody's like, oh, he has no alternative agenda. People bitch to bitch. They complain to complain. That's just what people do. None of it's real life, right? You're running because you want to help, right? Just like everybody running
Right.
in other areas for Area 7, the people running for president. Everybody who's running is running because they want to help, because there's no benefit to any of it for the actual person whatsoever. No area director is profiting off of being an area director. It's not happening. And whoever's going to be the next president is damn sure not getting paid enough to deal with half of the shit that they're going to have to deal with. So what agenda could possibly be being pushed through running for any office in USPSA? If you were running for the board of directors for GM Automotive, right, and you worked for Chevy, okay, I would be like, there's something fucking going on here, right?
Right.
But
right.
you're running for area director of a company for an organization that does a couple million a year, right? And doesn't pay you. So what could the agenda possibly be? This is kind of how I feel about it.
It's like they say in Spanish, amor al arte. Amor al arte is like love to the art, you know? Love to it doesn't translate correctly, but yeah, you basically do it for the love of it, you know?
People forget how small this organization really is. They like to make it out to be way bigger than it actually is. Like, you are a business person. You've been very successful in the business world. You're also a pilot, right? You've worked for some major corporations. You understand how small this really is, right? I mean, it's a boutique at a mall type revenue.
Right.
Right? So people need to chill the fuck out, in my opinion. I mean,
right.
In reality, dude, I mean, it is what it is. It's a small business with a lot of members that pay peanuts into it and act like they invested their entire life savings into it.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I get it. A lot of us invest a lot of time and money, but
right now that you mentioned that's one of the things that I feel. What are we paying right now for USPSA? $40, $45, something like that.
I honestly, I don't know. It's so small. I don't even check.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's one of the things that could be overseen. It's being overseen, and it could be better. You know,
Yeah.
I do RC airplanes. I think we're at $75 or $80 with American Model Aeronautics. You know, yeah.
And what does that get you when you buy into that organization? What does that get you?
You have an insurance, so if
Mm-hmm.
you know, crash into a person or a car or whatever. What else you have? Of course, your magazine and stuff like that, but not much more than USPSA, you know. But they charge double, I think.
Yeah, to be able to fly an RC airplane.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yep.
But when you're shooting at these ranges, you're covered under their insurance, I would imagine, if something happens.
Probably under the cover of the insurance, and I suppose USPSA probably has insurance for that too. You know.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
So I've been saying it. We need to double the fee that they're charging for the membership, and also offer back-end support for different things like streaming and everything else. And then matches just gotta get, like, if you want a good match, like, think about this. Area 2 is the same price as Nationals, or maybe a little more expensive if I'm not mistaken. But look at the match.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, another area match may only be $175. But look at that match, right? You want to shoot a good match, you want an area match to be an area match and be a big deal, you got to be willing to go pay and shoot it. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
It just is what it is.
Yep.
Yeah, we're paying $40 a year. I'm about to get the lifetime membership, so if they do raise it, I
just got a lifetime. Yeah, I'm a life member. Can't believe it. First life member of something in my life.
I know. Well, yeah, not me. I'm life member in a couple things, but USPSA, I don't even know. I think I might be a single year member at this point. I think it auto renews, if I'm not mistaken. I have no clue.
Yeah. Well, I became a senior, so I get a discount.
Yeah, see, Area 2 is $295, but staff cost is substantially less than Nats because volunteers and locals. Yep. Now imagine.
I thought Area 2 had gone up to $325.
Maybe. I
I
don't know.
think it's 325. I'm not sure. Leighton, you there? Let us know. I think it's 295. 390. 325.
If it is, it's worth it. And that's what I've always wondered. Why don't we have national matches and big area matches in big cities where we can get volunteers and locals to come out and shoot and come out and it came down in 2022. Okay.
Oh, okay. It came down. Okay.
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 Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Leighton is
But
there. There you
yeah. Yes,
go.
Mel is a senior.
Yes, I am. I'm 56, going on 57. So for USPSA, I'm a senior.
Yeah, well, that's because your hair is still dark, bro. But after getting this Area 4 director role, that shit's
Right?
going to gray up real fast. You're going to have to do that just for men.
I know, right?
You know, I've been telling Leighton he needs to do that just for men shit and darken it back up, although he pulls the gray off pretty nice. I don't know.
Yeah.
If they are going to patch and reset, we will pay. Well, pay enough for them to patch and reset, and they probably will. You can't have that shit done for free. Like, look at Dragon's Cup. They had resetters on some of the stages, but then like Area 6 was staff reset a whole match, right? I'd have paid for Area 6, I'd have paid $350, $400, no problem.
Dude, for the Dragons, I would have paid whatever.
Oh, dude,
$500, dude, for somebody to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
in the
yeah.
water. Dude,
Yeah.
the last 5 stages, I was biting it, dude. I wasn't interested anymore. It must have been like 110 in that sand in the sun.
Yeah, it was
Right?
hot.
The heat coming off the sand, and dude, the last 5 stages, I was giving up, man. I just wanted to go home. It
feel you.
was hot, dude.
I was right there with you, dog.
Yeah,
I was
and
coasting
no
through the
wind.
last couple stages, just
no,
dying.
yeah.
Shooting all day like that was miserable.
Isn't it incredible what 1 month of difference does?
Yeah,
Because we had shot it a month before, the year before. It was bad, but not as bad.
Not that bad. I kept trying to tell people, bro, that heat is something else out there, bro. I used to live out there for 6, almost 7 years. It's a different animal. They need to move that match earlier in the year. I think it needs to be a February, March match because
that would be beautiful.
Because if it's cold there, it's 65, 70 degrees, right? Exactly. But the match is so good. If that match was set in, like, Houston, oh, I'd pay $500 for that match all day.
That's one of the matches that I can truly say that it's at their stages and everything's at the level of nationals.
I think it's far better,
and their trophies are amazing.
Yeah, I think that Dragons Cup is about 30 to 35% better than any nationals I've shot, top to bottom.
It really is good. It really is a good match, and their prices are awesome. And the way, having the party at the end and all that, it's great, man. That's the way it should be. That's the way it is in every part of the world, except here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think whatever they're doing, everyone needs to take notice and start doing, because that match was incredible.
Yep.
I would love to have. That's what I'm excited about. You coming into Area 4, like, you know a lot of those people and know how to get them involved. I think you get, Billy and Marco involved in some Area 4 planning. Like, hey, Billy, send me some stages for Area 4. Hey, how are you running this? How can we do that? And see if we can get Area 4 to that level, dude. Because
no, they're doing a great job, man.
Good God,
they're doing a great job.
That match is unreal.
Yep.
That match is unreal, and we have a lot of good ranges out here in Area 4. I mean, to host an area match, none of them big enough to host the nationals, I don't think. But an area match, there's a lot of ranges that could host an area match out here.
Yep. Yeah. Too bad they closed Area 59, man.
There's a range that is right about 15 minutes
talking about
that way.
We're going now.
No. Different place.
Oh, okay.
Place that I train at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Lee John's
and
place.
They don't have any matches there or anything?
Nope.
Why not?
Well, don't have a local club there, but show that range to a few of the local clubs, get them over there. That's what I'm planning on doing. See if I can get the Wallace Orchard guys to move over and a few of the other ones. And then once they get the equipment over there, that range could host a nationals.
Okay.
It's 24 bays, all my massive amounts of parking, 250 acres, riverfront. I mean,
yeah.
it's
So
incredible.
GPS is the guys that are running Wallace now, right? Wallace
Yeah,
Orchard, but
yeah,
they have nothing to do with Wallace Orchard. They just go and rent there and do their
yeah,
match.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not a huge fan of. I like Wallace Orchard for a local match, but it couldn't host an area. I don't think.
No, there's not enough base. Not even close to having enough base.
Mm-mm. Somebody said, "Can the Infinity match also not be October 30th?" That's my wedding anniversary, and I got in trouble just for asking.
Well, hey, as you probably know, it got canceled because of
Yeah,
all the stuff that's going on. Of course, we will be back for 2023, and they're going to host their own deal. So that's where we're at. I don't know much of the details, but that's where we're at. But as of now, there will be no match.
yeah, it sucks.
Yep,
Pretty depressed about that one.
that was going to be amazing, dude.
I
But
know
you need,
I had my single action carry optics gun all queued up, dog.
yeah, they were making one for me too, man. So I was all happy about that.
I know.
Um,
We were all
but
pumped for it.
yeah, but it's going to come around. It's going to
Yeah,
come around.
yeah. It'll be good.
Yeah.
It'll play out in the end. But oh well. Um so anything else you want to talk about area 4 director running wise? Anything you want to mention or discuss?
Not really, man. I think we already covered everything. Like I said, until I'm there, we'll find out exactly what new ideas and how the people that are there will take new ideas.
Yeah.
I know Leighton's got very good ideas, and it's not that. I mean, we're friends. We shoot together. We're always at our neck at competitions. We're good friends out of the range, and the range we're at our necks. But he's got very good ideas. I have very good ideas. I really haven't talked to many of the others. I know Rick Steele. I've talked to him a couple of times when he goes to Infinity. But we'll see what happens, man. I mean, I think there's a lot that can be done. And let's be honest. I want to be honest with you. I don't think that USPSA is doing a bad job right now.
Mm-mm.
You can't say that USPSA sucks. We wouldn't be there, right? I'd be one of the first guys that wouldn't be shooting. I don't like when an organization is not doing their job correctly. But you can't blame all the people in USPSA for one black rice in the bag of rice. So it's just a matter of bringing in new ideas, try to get new sponsors, try to figure out a new way of how to give prices, you know, and see what happens. People think I'm crazy, but I think this should be an Olympic sport. I really do.
Yeah, I do
I
too.
really do. And some people, I remember I talked this with um, Area 3 director coming out, Matt.
Matt. Yeah. He gone.
I spoke that with him, and he says, I right away got the idea that he thought it was a far-fetched idea. Well, you know what? It's far-fetched until it happens. And it's going to happen one of these days,
Yeah,
right?
see, I love that attitude because there's something to be said about somebody who has um, grandeur expectations with the ability to do everything possible to try to make it happen. Because here's my firm belief is I am gonna shoot for the moon and land in the stars, and you're winning either way, right? Overshoot, and wherever you end up's got to be better than where you were,
Right,
right? So
right.
if we're pushing for an Olympic sport, hey, maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't, right? There's a lot of sports in the Olympics we never thought we were gonna fucking be there, right? But who knows? Because
Let me ask you this. What do you think about this? I remember when Manny Bragg was running for USPSA president. Henry Ruiz, my shooting partner, or one of my shooting partners, you know Henry, Dr.
Hmm.
Henry. We sat together at one of the matches in Houston at the oil field. Manny went to that match. And we sat and we started talking. And he mentioned something that we were never going to get different kind of sponsors that were not related to guns because our target had a head. In other words, the humanoids. If that's true, why can we not get rid of it and be like the
I've
rest of the world that shoots IPSC
I've been
targets, right?
saying since I started that the USPSA target is stupid.
I, I, so let's just say that this is completely true. Let's just say that we are not getting other type of sponsors because we shoot humans, right?
You shoot a humanoid shaped target, yeah.
Exactly. You shoot a humanoid shaped target. If that is really true, why don't we get rid of it, man? So to you, to me, to any shooter that shoots USPSA, you don't care if the target's round, rectangle. Why are we the only? If that really holds true, what Manny said, why don't we just go to IPSC targets or change it to a round target or rectangle or whatever?
I think we should use IPSC targets personally.
I that's all I practice in. I don't even like the other ones, dude. You
Honestly, I
know,
have 0 USPSA targets in my house.
right?
I
And
practice with IPSC solely. All
that's
my
just the
dry
way I
fire
am too.
I think my dry fire targets are the only ones that are USPSA targets, and that's
They're
just
thirty
because that's
percent.
what they get sold.
They're 30% smaller. You should
Yeah.
practice on small targets. So, anyway, another thing that I was going to tell you during that conversation, um, you know, I was talking with Manny and I said, you know that the Olympics have an owner. No, I
Hmm.
don't know that. I said, they do. And I know the guy. And this might be crazy, but I
He's
know
based
the
in
guy.
Mexico City,
He's
isn't
in
he?
Mexico City,
Yeah.
Olegario Vázquez Raña, one of the most rich men in the world.
Hmm.
Um, he, he, I have been to his building in Mexico City where they do, like every sport has their magazine, right? They do all the magazines there in Mexico and then ship them to the different countries. Like weightlifting goes to wherever, and shooting goes to wherever. Shooting goes to Germany, and then track and field goes to. They do everything there, and then it goes. And he's the one that has kept shotgun and has kept three position and prone position. They've done away with a lot of the stuff because it's very boring to watch.
It's boring as shit.
Super
Olympic shooting
boring.
is terrible to watch.
I did it for a long time, dude. And
Yeah.
when you go to the Olympics, you sit down and all you see is somebody laying down, standing up, or kneeling. You don't see bullets, you don't see any, you just see a scoreboard where you either have a 10, a 9, an 8. It's very, very boring,
Yeah.
right?
And here's where USPSA in an Olympic setting is interesting because it's only going to be the best. Because this
Exactly.
sport, all right, let me tell you, this sport can be boring,
Right.
which
Of
is my
course.
gripe with USPSA social media. Listen, I've said
I've
it.
heard you say that.
I love Joe Blow. I love Jimmy D class, right? But nobody wants to see you shoot. Nobody, there's probably a lot of people that don't want to see me shoot, right? I want to see the baddest, fastest motherfuckers on this planet ripping through stages, doing sub-second crazy shit and looking superhuman. And
Right.
the Olympics is going to be nothing but those people.
Right. Right. And how do you do it? The same stadium that they put on for three position and prone, it's the same stadium you would use for USPSA.
And it
It's up,
worked just
it's
fine.
like that, and you're seeing from the back, from the top, down, like if it was football. Man, it'd be amazing. And
Yep.
like I said, people might think it's far fetched, but it's gonna happen when it happens. And then when it happens, it's like, yeah, I knew one of these days it was gonna be there. Yeah, well, you got to push for it.
Yeah.
You got to push for it.
Somebody said up here, I think it might have been Sean Hines, where was it? If you treat USPSA like a hobby, it'll never be anything more than a hobby.
That is right. That is
I think that
correct.
goes with anything, any hobby, right? There's professional barbecue championships
Yeah.
that pay big money.
I think the difference, Trevor, in the United States and in other parts of the world is that in other parts of the world, it becomes their sport because it's so hard to have a gun, it's so hard to have ammo, and you got to have all kinds of permits. I've
Mm-hmm.
been through there, done that in Mexico when I lived in Mexico, and I would see my dad go through all that shit. Except my dad was always, good friends of the president or whoever was the president at that time, and he would always get the permits with no problem. But that's what happens in every country. So the people that go into that sport, they look at it as a sport. They don't look at it as a hobby.
Yeah.
In the United States, anyone can go buy a gun, anyone can go buy ammo, and then you go and shoot and play with your gun, you know? So that is probably a good question. How do you make it a sport instead of a hobby?
I will answer that for you right now.
Okay.
Area matches and national matches,
Should only be for the top shooters.
there has to be some type of distinction. But here's the thing. Not only that, I'm not saying you have to be the best of the best to get there, but the best of the best have to be there, and there has to be an incentive for them to be there, right? It should cost you a good amount of money to go shoot nationals, personally. It happens once a year, right? Or it should happen once a year or twice a year, right? I think it should happen once a year, and you should pick your division and go shoot it, and that's what you shoot. Everybody shoots together, big giant nationals, or do the back-to-back nationals with the day in between, whatever, right?
Right.
But it should happen once per year. It needs to be expensive enough that we get to do a bunch of crazy cool shit, big vendor areas, awesome stages, staff reset, food, whatever, right? Market the piss out of it. On top of that, there needs to be big cash payouts for the winners, right? The winners and prizes, right? Open up 25% to the public. The rest is invite only. You have to have qualified at an area match to go to nationals. That will mean that if people want to go to nationals and they know they're not going to get a slot, or they don't want a chance getting a slot, they got to go perform.
Right.
They got to go to an area match and they got to perform.
I
And
am
that's going to
with you.
drive up area matches. Area matches need to get better as well. On top of that, I mean, think about it this way. That Extreme Euro Open that happens overseas, dude, we've got to get shoot-offs, because the shoot-offs that happen over there are legendary.
And that's what Infinity wanted to bring back with the Infinity Open. Because here's the thing, and this is true, and maybe somebody's going to crap on me of the pros, but it's awesome to see your idols at the end.
Yeah.
Or your good buddies. Maybe they're not your idol, but they're your buddies. And Max Michel going against JJ, or, stuff like that, Graffel going against Seiler. That'd be awesome, dude.
Yeah, dude, I want to see the shoot-off. I want to see the Super
These
Six.
guys shoot and they leave. You never see them again. They shoot on Friday, they're gone.
That's the thing. They can't do that.
And it'd be awesome if all these big matches would have shoot-offs and people stay to watch, man. There's nothing more exciting than that.
I think there has to be, here's the deal. I think it should be cash payout. All the big dudes have to shoot on super squads. They have to shoot together. They don't have a choice. You don't get to pick your squad.
Completely with you.
You need to go shoot at this time with these guys and be there. Right. And then you need to be present at the award ceremony to get your prize. Don't give a shit. No delegate, no walk for me, no nothing. And you need to be there for the Super 6 shoot-off if you want to win the high overall, like I'm the big dog title and get the big money, right?
Right.
You can go win open, or you can go win carry optics, pack your shit and leave, right?
Right.
But if you want to be there for the Super 6 and you want to be there to claim the big money payout, you got to be there and you got to shoot that motherfucker.
Yep.
Right there, there has to be a sporting element to this. And right now, it's a hobby with a couple of guys that are super duper good, who treat it like a sport, but at the same time, don't.
Right. Right. I'm with you, man. I'm completely with you. You know, another of the things that I think that I've talked about with some of the guys on the board is why, and I think I've heard you talk about this. Why can't we have a system that's looking at the fault lines? Another far-fetched idea until somebody does it and they start doing it,
For
and it
foot
becomes
faults?
a normal. You know,
For foot faults?
exactly, stuff like
I
that. You know,
so
or for breaking a 180.
I've always thought that film should be admissible, right? If you can prove that you
If
did
you can
not do
prove.
something through film,
Right.
right?
A lot of the times, so listen, I got DQ'd at the Bighorn, right? I got DQ'd there. Let me move this a little bit. I gotta stand up a little bit. Okay. So I got DQ'd at Bighorn. And of course when you get DQ'd, you feel like shit, you know.
Yeah.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda, all this kind of stuff. I got DQ'd and I said, no, I did not break. And no, you did break. I did not. And I did not. And you're in this mode that the ROs are wrong and they're wrong and they're wrong. So I go to the film and I'm looking at it. Of course, I can't use it, but I wasn't. You've seen me before. I mean, I'm not hateful. I don't like to, you know, I say a lot of bad words when with my friends, but I try not to be hateful because I don't want people to think bad about me, especially a company I represent, right? But I was real mad because I really thought I had not DQ'd. And that's what happens to everyone. We're in the, unless it's something extremely, extremely obvious, you think you're not. So I went back there and I started looking at the thing and I went back to the RO and I said, look, I don't think I broke it, man. And there's nothing I could do anymore about it, right? And then I said, you know what? I cannot be arguing like this. I'm a professional senior shooter, right? But I represent a company and I can't leave this like this. So I went back, I saw and finally I saw in slow motion, stopped it, slow motion, stopped it again, where, you know what, I did DQ. And I went to the guys and I said, hey, listen, I am so sorry that I even argued this. That's not who I am, not the company I represent. I DQ'd. And I take it and I sign the paper and that's what it is, you know? But let me tell you this, Trevor. They started doing replays in baseball, right? Dude, can you imagine losing the World Series because of a bad call from an umpire?
Yep.
I don't think it's right, you know?
So video evidence, as long as it is clear and concise, should if you have to go, well, maybe, then no. Right? But I'll give you an example. Area 7 last year, right? I shoot a stage, crush it. They come back and say, oh, you shot through this wall. And I'm like, what? There's no fucking way, right? The position at where I shot the targets, I knew I wasn't even close to that wall. There would have been no way. My stage plan kept me away from that wall because I watched people shoot that wall, right? You shot the wall. There's a hit in the wall. I looked at the target. I'm like, target doesn't look like I shot through the wall. I look at where I was at. I'm like, I'm here. There's no way I could have shot through that wall. I pulled up my video. Right away I saw there's no fucking way possible I could have shot that wall. Not even on the same stratosphere of possibility. It's physically impossible from where I was to shoot through that wall, right?
Right.
And hit the target, right? I could have shot through the wall, but I'd have been 3 feet right of the target, right? Well, RM comes over. Well, I got to go with what my guys say, basically, right? And after I say, okay, are we done with this call? Yep. Okay, so it's a mic. Yep. Nothing I can do. Yep. Okay, now look at the video. You fucked up. And they're like, I can't change it now. And I was like, this is where video evidence should be admissible. And I even looked at him and I said, you know you made a bad call now, right? And he's like, well, yeah. And I'm like, in the RO, I said, you missed taping that and you fucked up now, right?
Yeah. You want to know something that happened to me at the Florida Open? I
What?
had, I don't remember exactly if I had one mic or two mics. I think I had one mic. I arrive home and I have two mics. So I called the guy that's the director and I said, hey, I had one mic or whatever mics, right? And now I dropped so many spots because I have two. And he said, that was a reshoot and you were there when I reshot it. They even said you shot it 1 second faster and you had better points. And now in that stage, I have a mic. What
Yeah.
happened? I have no idea, brother.
Yeah, shit like that
I
happens.
have no idea,
Yeah.
but it sucks
I always
when
double
it's the
check all my
difference when it's
points.
the difference
Yeah.
between winning and not winning. So I just made it a point from there on. Take a picture.
Yeah, no. I always review everything, and if they don't give me a receipt, then I make sure and record it somehow. But
Right.
Manny Talk Shooting said video evidence would also slow down match flow significantly. No, it would not. Not at all. Because you can't use it on
It would
stuff
be like
like
pulling a
doubles.
target, but it would
You
be like
can't.
pulling a
Yeah,
target. The time you pull the target, they continue to shoot while
yeah,
they're checking on the target.
yeah.
It's
It'd
the
be
same
just like
thing.
that.
I mean, you continue
Yeah,
to shoot while they're checking on the video, you know?
yeah. It wouldn't slow down. It wouldn't slow down the match any more than it already slows it down when a call happens and somebody's arguing. In fact, it might get it over with faster
Right,
in most cases. If
right,
they say, "Hey, you got a foot fault," and you're sitting there arguing and arguing and arguing, you could just go, "Hey, look at this. No foot fault."
right, right.
Right? It could
You
speed
know,
it up.
it
It'll probably wash out in the end.
and Trevor, like I said before, and there'll be people that are going to think we're crazy, but until it happens and it starts operating, it's a far-fetched idea. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But there's a lot of things that I've heard in your podcast that be awesome, dude, to do. I mean, it'd be, one of the things that I always argued with Leighton the other day, I don't know where Leighton went, and I didn't go because I would have beat him. But he went to a match, he won it, and the trophy they always give seniors suck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I told Leighton, you know what, tell USPSA that for the next 10 years, I will donate them. If that has to be done, I will donate them. And you never know. Maybe one of these days somebody donates all the shit for the fault lines, all the shit for the video. Hey, I'm all for it. Maybe one of these days I get a wild hair up my butt and I donate all that shit.
Possibly.
You never know,
Yeah,
man.
it could happen. But I mean,
Yep.
there's actually there's a way to do self-scoring targets. There's a way to do all types of shit. You know what I mean? There's literally a system in place that we could use to do self-scoring targets. You want to know if that was a perfect double? Only way to know, self-scoring targets. Infrared beam, you shoot through it, boom. It either was or it wasn't,
When I
right?
first came into Olympic style shooting, it was paper targets and you'd plug them. And then it became electronic, and
Yep.
all that stuff has come down a lot in price. So you never know. One of these days,
Yeah,
I
the
don't see
only
why
thing
not.
was you'd have a lot of Yahoos shooting the fuck out of that target, the infrared system,
Yeah, that's true.
but it would have to be pretty sturdy.
Yeah.
Um, which would be the only drawback to that. But maybe you use that at big matches,
Mm-hmm.
where the odds of that getting shot are
Yeah, and I
less,
mean,
and I don't
most of the
know.
stuff, yeah, what we're talking about is going to be at the area matches or at nationals, right? I mean,
You could even do some type of, V-shaped perimeter that would deflect shots, this way or this way, and you'll see the
yeah,
hit. You'll see the hit in the target if it was a perimeter shot, whatever. Right? There's
right.
ISSF has it. Cool.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's the Olympic style shooting that I used to do for years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
and it's actually not infrareds, dude. It's actually microphones. The target has these microphones that measure where the bullet went through, and that's how it knows. Maybe it changed now. I'm talking 20 years ago, but I think
Well,
it's
yeah,
still in
it's
micrometers.
probably come a long way in 20
Oh
years,
my
I would
God,
just say.
and a lot. When I
We
bought
barely
one
had
of
cell
those,
phones back then.
when I bought one of those electronic systems, dude, about I want to say 20 years ago, maybe 25 years ago, cost me like $10,000.
Yeah, that
Right
shit's
now, right
probably
now
so
you
cheap
you
nowadays.
buy them for nothing now, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, incredible. Oh yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to do it. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that need to happen. I mean, I think we can be an Olympic sport, but I think there's a lot of changes that need to be happening. And here's the thing. It has to be the changes have to be made, and there has to be people in there willing to make the changes. And
right,
I'm excited for you in particular because I know that you're not closed off to change, right?
right,
Neither
right,
are a few of the other area directors, but I feel there are some area directors that are just their curtains
right.
closed.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime anything happens, they're like, raise the battle shields,
Right,
right?
right.
And
Yeah,
I think it's a negative mindset. I think it
yeah.
is
I think that
because
happens
you're gonna try
in every
shit.
sport. Right,
You're gonna try shit, and it's probably some of it's not gonna work, right? And us as members have to be empathetic with that. I mean, if y'all try some shit and it could be a good idea, it could not.
right,
But guess what? We're gonna find out, and if it's not, guess what? We can change it back. It's not a one way street like the
right,
flashlight deal, right? The
right.
flashlight deal, they could just go, hey, this was fucking stupid. Let's take it back, right?
Yep.
Or anything else, right? Single action and carry optics, they could say, hey, we're gonna try this out. If it don't work or it's pointless, bam, whoosh, roll it back, right? I mean, there's a lot of things you could try. It's a try and fail type stuff.
That's right.
Businesses, some of the biggest businesses on the planet try and fail constantly,
That's right.
but that's how they get better, right? Think about any sport, football, baseball.
Success is part of failure.
Yeah, they've
That's
all
just the way
tried
it is.
shit. It hasn't
Mm-hmm.
worked, and they've reverted back.
That's right.
You know.
Yep. Yes,
So,
sir.
but it's gonna take area directors going, we're gonna make some changes. Some people aren't gonna like it, but it is what it is.
Right.
Because
Exactly.
not everybody, any decision you ever make, not everybody will be happy.
No.
It's
And
impossible for everyone
it's
to be
so
happy
funny
with the
because
decision.
so many things that are so simple. Some people want it and some people don't. And being it's so simple, why don't you want it if it's so simple? That's just the way it is. You know, every mind is every mind is a world.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it keeps me up at night sometimes. Where I'm just like laying there in bed going, man, that's when I go, fuck it, I'm gonna be an area director or something shit like that. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh, never mind, pull
Yeah.
the cord. Right? Or I get on
Oh, yeah.
Instagram and I see all the memes and I'm like, fuck that job, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
We'll see what happens, man. I
yeah,
gotta be running for my life.
I think you'll be good, man. I know. I think listen, you're not going to make everybody happy. There's going to be a lot of negativity, I'm sure, but I know you. I know the type of person you are. I know you're going to take it on the chin and keep on rocking and keep doing what you have planned to do, because if I know anything about you, it's that when you decide that it's time to do something, it's time to do something, right?
I appreciate it, man.
So I
Yeah.
think that's in a leader, that's a very, very effective, if not the most effective quality to have.
Yep.
So I'd totally make the video stuff work. Can't afford to quit the day job. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Go fast,
Yeah.
don't suck. He's got some good ideas. Change starts with us as shooters. Once the shooting body wants it, it should happen. Exactly. But
And that's where
here's the
that
problem. You don't
go
know.
ahead.
How are you going to know? Right? Think about this. How many people voted in the presidential election?
It's ridiculous, man.
How many people are actually going to vote? How many people actually voted in the Area 4 election?
I think we have like 35,000, 36,000 members,
Yeah.
and only 7,000 and something voted. and then a lot of people talk bad about USPSA and this and that, but they don't vote. They don't give their ideas. That
Yeah.
that's one of the things that needs to change. People really have to vote, man.
Yeah,
You
people
know,
get upset because the people they say, you shouldn't listen to the loud minority, right? If the silent majority aren't giving you an answer, what are you supposed to do?
right? Exactly.
That's why I think if there's something that should be brought up, like, hey, we think that this is a good idea, put it out to the members, put it to a vote, right?
Right.
It's simple. You can do an online poll like that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
And I heard a podcast from USPSA, and they were talking that they had exposed the limited carry optics already, and they weren't for it. Something like that. I've heard so many podcasts trying to learn everything that's going on with USPSA, but it's not. I don't believe that it's up to USPSA. It's up to the members. Bring it up. If somebody brings it up and they want limited carry optics, bring it up to the members. It's not up to the board, or it's not up to USPSA people that work there. Or whatever. I think it's for the members, and let the members decide. You know,
Yeah.
and I know there's a lot of other things that are involved there, but if it's been exposed, it's been exposed. It should go to the members. That's what
Yeah,
I
if it's
think.
been put out there, it needs to go to the members. There should be a way for us to vote on things,
Right.
right? But in reality, it's that's the reason we elect people like you guys, right? So maybe the area directors need to put out on the email list for all their area members, because I don't know, do the area directors have contact info for everyone in their area that's a USPSA member? I don't know. Leighton probably knows
I,
that answer. If
well,
they do,
I know
they should
Leighton does
send
his
out an
homework.
email.
I'm not trying to cover for him or anything like that.
No, yeah, that's an
He
answer.
he
That's something Leighton
he
can answer.
Leighton does his homework. I mean, this guy really knows his shit, and hopefully I can learn it like that, man. That's one of the things that's got me going. That there's so many things that I need to learn and
Yeah,
learn fast, but I'm not going to learn it until I'm there, because there's information that I'm not going to be able to get to
yeah.
until I'm there.
You don't have all the information
Exactly.
right
I'm
now.
just watching from the outside.
Yeah, exactly. Leighton, do y'all have access as area directors to all the contact info for the people in your area? If y'all do, then if I send you an email as my area 4 director and I say, hey, I want single action only in carry optics, and you go, you know what, that's the 15th person who's emailed me about that this month, I'm going to put that out to my members, and you put a poll out to your members, do not have email addresses for members, that is confidential to USPSA. See, that's something that I think should not be the case. I think as area directors, you should have at least email addresses for all the people in your area. There should be a way for them to contact you and you to contact them. Hey, all my area members, do you
I
think this is
know,
a good
I
idea?
know, I know that the area directors are there on the USPSA website, so
Yeah.
the members can go to the
Yeah.
directors, but not vice versa. I guess what Leighton say.
Yeah. I mean, the personal experience, I sent multiple area directors, including my own, emails about rule changes and requests, and only one responded,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So, and it wasn't mine, you know? So, like, hey, it tells you what you need to know, right? There's some
Right.
good, I firmly believe that there are area directors that want to do a lot of good, and there are some area directors who just are sitting back and enjoying the title and just enjoying to go to clubs and be like, I'm the area director. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's exactly what I think, man. Let me put my phone to charge. I forgot to plug it in.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Leighton said he can and I can and do email all the section coordinators and the clubs in the area. Yeah, so maybe that's something where you reach out to your section coordinators and your clubs and section coordinators do polls. But I mean, I feel like it should be pretty easy for you to be able to send an email blast to everyone in your area. I feel like that shouldn't be emails are emails, dude. I mean, USPSA has all our emails. So why don't you have access to that through USPSA's website? I don't see it being an issue. If it's confidential to USPSA, you're a USPSA area director. You're a board member. You should have access to everything.
Right.
That just is what it is. I mean, look at it. I mean, I'm sure that the board of directors at Coca-Cola, which is one of the largest companies, well, not one of the largest companies, but one of the largest, beverage product companies, if they wanted to, could get the email list for everyone signed up for Coca-Cola News.
Yeah.
Right? This
Well,
is the first thing that popped into my head.
It is the biggest beverage company, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you go and take the tour, this is a little commercial here, but when you go take the tour for Budweiser in St. Louis, they tell you that I believe they put out 3 million beers a day. Okay? 3 million beers a day. And they can't save them there because where do you put 3 million? Because the next day there's 3 more million. And once they have you impressed and you see the lines of beer and everything, how they do it. I don't know if have you ever been there?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Once you're impressed and they're going to let you go, they say, well, if you're impressed with this, now think Coca-Cola is 10 times bigger.
Jesus.
Crazy, dude. Just crazy. And that's just 3 million bottles that are going to their zone, not anywhere else. You know, there's, I think, 5 or 6 zones in the United States that do that. It's just crazy, man. But anyway.
Yeah, it's funny because the Coca-Cola Mexico, the lady who owns Coca-Cola Mexico has one of the largest houses I've ever seen on Tapatio Springs golf course, and it's her vacation home, which is a golf course that I go to every time me and my wife go to Bernie to visit her, some of her family there. And that house is built into the side of the mountain. It looks like a bond layer. It's sick, but that's just Coca-Cola Mexico.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
There's a belief that too many email drives people away. The database is protected info and is not made available to anyone other than the DIT and DME. Yeah, see, no, it's not. Think about this, right? That's where the marketing, that's where I have a core belief that the marketing system of USPSA is broken. Because emails are valuable. And especially in this scenario where that's your only way to reach everyone. So if you want to, they're sitting back going, we don't know what the members want because nobody talks to us. Well, you're not fucking talking to them either. You can go to a match and you can talk to people in person, or you can go here. Like the other day, right? Like an area director said, well, I've gone and I've talked to my local club, right? And they don't want this. And I'm like, cool, one club in the entire fucking area doesn't want that. I'm sure you asked your buddies. Is that your local club? Yes, it is. Okay, I'm sure you asked your buddies who have a similar mindset. And of course they said they didn't want that, right? But do the rest of your members? You don't fucking know because you don't ask them. But your emails are a way to ask them. Email the fucking people. Hey, boom, here's an email. Okay, cool, check it out. And then if you make a change and people say, well, they didn't do that, they didn't ask the members, why'd they make that change? Hey, we sent an email. People did the poll. If you want to vote, then fucking vote. If you're not happy with this rule change, then get out there and change it with your mind, right? Get out there and press a button and fix it. But if you're not willing to open an email and check it, then fuck off, right? But that's a tool that they're not utilizing that they should be utilizing.
Right.
And it's how almost every single business operates. I haven't heard positive things for people that tried to go in person to board meetings. Neither. I don't know what that means. Can you go in person? I don't even know.
Well, they've had the meetings, remember, at Nationals? Where the members could go?
Yeah, but again, you got a small sample size.
Right.
Yeah, by the way, I get a very poor response from club presidents I email. Like a lack of response, I don't get that answer. I don't get that answer. But yeah, I just think that the members should be involved If you want to make changes and you're nervous how the members are going to react, the only way to know is to reach out, and
Right.
that doesn't happen, right? So either grow a pair and make changes and deal with the fallout, or reach out to the members and see what they want and do what they want.
Right.
Two
Yeah,
simple choices.
I think the members should always have a word on this all the time.
Yeah, because we elect area directors, right?
Right.
But in reality, and here's the thing, I think if you elect an area director, that area director shouldn't be afraid to make changes for fear that he's not going to get reelected, which I know you don't have, right? But there are area directors who will not make changes and won't even bring up subjects because, ooh, I don't want to make anyone mad,
Right.
right?
It's taboo. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't do this job, because I could give two flying fucks and a rolling donut if anybody's mad at me, right? So I would go in there and be like, hey, this is going to help. Let me do it. And people can be like, why'd you do that? And I'm going to be like, it's going to help. And if it don't,
Right.
oh, sorry, I fucked that one up. Let me try again. Yeah, he has a monthly Area 2 section coordinator meeting and have invited over 20 club presidents to the meeting. Only 3 responded. See, that irks me.
Well, I guess it's just like the voting. What Leighton is saying there.
You
Only 3
shouldn't be a
guys
club
showed.
president if you're not involved. If you are a club president and I think if you're a club president, you should have to attend meetings. And if you're a club president and you miss a certain few, then hey, guess what? You're not a club president anymore. Find a different club president. But here's the thing: how many people are actually wanting to be club presidents? Not many, right?
Not many. Mm-hmm.
The power is with the small people, right? That's how it works.
Yeah.
Because we should connect more with clubs. We should connect more with members. But members and club presidents don't want to do shit, apparently, right? They just want to run their local club and be done,
Mm-hmm.
right? Voting turnout keeps trending upwards, but it's outpaced by the growth of the sport, making the percentage of eligible voters get lower every year. Hey, who should be president, me or Mel? Because they
That's
do
what
not.
I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Who of us?
Yeah. They do not have enough money to have me as president. I'll tell you that. AD and board of director has no say in affiliate club happenings. Yeah, I know. So, I don't know.
Yeah. It's just hard, man. I mean, I think the people that vote and the people that want to be this and we want to be that is the people that are hardcore into the sport.
Yeah, that's where I think we should adopt the same mentality as golf.
What's that?
I think we should have a governing body that handles the big matches and the rest of it is left up to the people, right? I've thought about this, right? I've thought about this quite a bit. Anybody can have a golf course. Anybody can have a gun range. Anybody can go play golf. Anybody can go shoot at the gun range. Anybody can put on a golf tournament. I can go right now I'm a member at Sterling Country Club. I can go to Sterling right now and say, hey, I want to host an event. Here's my money. Here's my info. Boom, boom, bada bing. Now I have a golf tournament, right? Anybody can host a local match. Hey, here's my info. Here's my money. Boom, I'm an affiliate club. Boom, I can host a match. Anybody can host a big match. Hey, I want to host a big golf tournament. Here's more money and more info. Boom. I want to host a big match. Here's more money and more info. Boom. Hey, I want to host a PGA event. Suck my balls. You're not the PGA. We're the PGA. We're hosting the big matches. We have the best players. We have the best sponsors. We have all this, right? We have the television rights. We have everything. Right? We're USPSA. We've got the connections. We've got the invest. We're hosting all the big events. We're doing all of this. But if you want to have a handicap and you want to be ranked, then you got to pay for it. But if you want to go shoot a PGA event, you really got to pay for it. You got to pay for your PGA membership. Now, that's a loosely based theory, and there's a lot of things that can't translate, right? But in reality, it's not a terrible idea. That's not literally what we have at all. Go Fast, Don't Suck said that's literally what we have. That's not it. That's not it, because we don't treat it like a sport. We still treat it like a hobby, right? We don't go after big sponsors. We don't go after the best shooters. We don't go after any of that. We don't put it as a sport. It doesn't happen. We don't market it. We don't do anything.
So let me ask you something.
We have the same structure, is what he's probably referring to. We have a similar structure as golf, but we are so far off.
And it is a good idea what you're saying, but let me ask you this: what would make it a sport in the United States?
How would make it a sport?
How would you change this from a hobby to a sport?
I would increase my marketing range substantially. First off, I would actually have a marketing campaign, which we have a zero marketing campaign right now. I mean, it's non-existent. What we have is probably hurting more than it's helping. I would hire a person to actually run the business side, which they're already in the process of doing, who would run it like a business, who has a track record and at least a 14% growth rate per year, right? I would increase match fees by making the match bigger and better. I would market to every area match. If you want to host an area match, okay, great. You have to be near a certain population of people. There has to be a certain size of population. We have to reach out to those people, radio shows, put flyers out at all your local gun ranges, right? Hit the outdoor stores, right? Get on different. Do you know how many people have huge ass social medias that could actually market the sport for them, that are involved in the sport? You'd be very, very surprised, right?
Yeah.
Bring on bigger sponsors. There's sponsors like Black Rifle Coffee that are huge, that are gun friendly, but there has to be some type of return on investment. We'll never get bigger sponsors until we have a better marketing plan and a way for people to get involved at the matches. There has to be a vendor area. There has to be spectators. There has to be some way for the sport to be interesting, right? And for it to be interesting, area matches and national matches have to be saturated with talent. And there has to be an incentive for that talent to be there, right? I remember hearing that back in the day, all the best shooters in the entire world would show up for the USPSA Nationals. When's the last time you've seen a top overseas competitor at Nationals?
No, haven't. Not in
How many times have you seen a top U.S. talent at an international big match? Quite a bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, compared. Well, I guess I'm thinking lately, dude, because of COVID and stuff. Nobody's.
No, I'm talking about pre-COVID.
Yeah, pre-COVID. Yeah. Yeah, no, you see a lot more competitors from here go over there than come over here. In the 8 years that I've been in USPSA, I've never seen Rafael. I've never seen none of those guys here.
Neither have I.
Yeah.
Now, I've only been in it since 2018. But
now that you mentioned this, I didn't hear about USPSA until I was 49 years old.
I didn't hear about USPSA until one of my buddies mentioned IDPA, and we were supposed to shoot an IDPA match, and it got canceled. So we went and shot USPSA the next weekend because the guy who was running the IDPA told us, "Oh, just come next weekend, and we're doing USPSA." And I just fell into this shit. It was by chance. I could have gotten called into work, forgot about it, and never even heard about it again.
Right. Yeah, no. I had never heard of it, and I think about it, and I'm like, well, wait, how come I never heard of it?
Because the marketing is non-existent.
Being in the gun business all my life, I've always been shooting all my life, dude, and I never heard of USPSA until these guys came to my place and told me they could do a weekly match, and that's what I ran for 7 years, or for 6 years, whatever. Yep.
Yeah, so the NRA show that just happened, guess who was there? And guess whose booth was constantly filled with people? IDPA. Guess who wasn't there? USPSA. Why not? It's an easy, it's not a small convention, but it's a big convention with an easy barrier of entry and a low cost and overhead. Why not? Why not? Why not be there?
Yep.
Why not have an actual marketing director, right? Because here's the problem, right? Jake is very, very good at his job when it comes to event coordinating, and he's doing a lot of other shit. But Jake is not a marketing guy, right? He kind of got thrown into that. He needs to step away from the marketing and focus on event coordinating, and we need to hire a marketing person. And that person needs to come in and restructure everything. Personally, I think they should delete every post off the USPSA website and fucking start fresh. I'm
Right.
not saying they got to delete the Instagram because you got so many followers, but delete all the posts and start fresh. Brand new USPSA with badass content, doing badass shit that gets people's attention. Start a better YouTube with more informative stuff and projects with top shooters, and there's so much you could do, right? Instead of spending all this money on a magazine that just the members get. When's the last time you read that magazine? Like, paid attention to anything that was really in it?
I just go through it and look at the pictures.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You just look at the pictures. Magazines don't exist. Do an online magazine, dude. But take that budget to print that magazine and put it towards fucking flyers at gun stores or reaching out to different things, doing gun shows. Have a person go around and set up at all these big gun shows and show the sport to all the people actually in our sport. Like, there's so many better ways to use the money. I think it's I don't know. But I've said these things 9 million times. Who knows? Maybe one day someone will listen. But who cares? But nah, man, I'm excited for you to get in there, dude. I think you're gonna go do a good job. When does voting close? Is it open yet?
On the
I think it already
16th.
opened, right? I already
You haven't-
voted. Yeah, I already
it
voted.
opened on the 15th and it closes on the 16th, I believe.
Yeah.
So we got what, another 16 days to go, 17 days to go.
Yeah. Because I voted as soon as I saw the email come through.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited. Obviously, it's you and one other person. I don't know the other guy.
Yeah, I don't know him either.
But so obviously, you were my vote. I'm not influencing anybody's decisions. Don't want people to think I'm influencing votes, but because I'm sure I'll get shit for that. When I said I was having you on, I got like 50 DMs from people like, "Are you going to have the other guy on?" Like, no, motherfucker. Go Fast, Don't Suck already did that.
Yeah.
Like, he already had everybody on. I don't care. I didn't even listen to any of those, really. I knew you.
When Bill called me and told me that we were going to do a podcast, I thought it was going to be the four of us, the two from Area 4 and the two from Area 7.
Oh.
And it was going to be a debate. And then all of a sudden, the day before, I saw the guy running against me, Bill, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess it's individuals. But I was ready. I was ready with my homework.
Yeah, I know. He's like, I'm ready to come out swinging, bitch.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah.
No, Bill Duda was great, man. He, nobody, with all this stuff happening and everything, nobody was impolite. Nobody was, hateful or anything, It's above my pay grade, I don't deal with that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I had that conversation with Bill because he was talking about wanting to do that, and I was like, I'm not stepping on those toes, right? When he's done, I'll have you on, right? But that's because we're friends, right?
No, and you didn't call me today to tell me, hey, can I not ask something or nothing like that. I'm open, whatever.
No,
yeah.
So I guess I should preference that. That's probably bad on my part because usually when I have a guest on, I'll give you the thing. Either because usually I reach out to the guests because I have people reach out to me to be on the podcast, but I'm like, hey, I really want to know. I want to have certain people on. And I have a list, and I've asked people way in advance, and I'm scheduled pretty far in advance, right? You know this.
Mm-hmm.
So when I get to it, I'll get to you, kind of type deal, right? But when I have a guest on, I ask them 3 simple questions. What have you done? like accolades wise, is there anything we absolutely have to cover, sponsors, etc.? And is there anything you absolutely don't want to talk about? And if they don't tell me, it ain't off the table because
Right.
I don't pre-write any of this shit. And they go, what are we going to talk about? Do you have like bullet points and blah, blah, blah? Because I know a lot of other shooting podcasts do that. And I'm like, I'm going to hit start and we're going to figure it out
Right.
because it comes off better that way,
Right.
because
Right.
you've been on here before, right? Like we don't know what the hell's going to come up. And that's how
Right.
it should be. It's like a
Right.
conversation between buddies,
Right. It's
you
more
know?
fun, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. When you pre-write all that shit, it's so obvious. I listen to some of the podcasts and I'm like, oh, like, okay, this feels like it feels like a 60 minutes interview,
Right.
right? It doesn't feel like I really want this to feel more like a Joe Rogan podcast because I think he is the best podcast on planet Earth, right?
Right. Right.
And that's how it should be, type
No,
deal.
I
So
love your podcast, dude. I'm one of your guys that's always listening to your podcast.
you were one of my first guests.
That's right.
Yeah, I can't
That
remember
that
what
that
episode, but
it
you were single
started
digits.
it started real good, and then we deviated to cider, remember? And and then that was it. It
Yeah,
got
yeah,
sidetracked with something else. And then
yeah, yeah.
the next one was gonna be about me, and Brandon came in, and it became Brandon's podcast. So,
I know, man. It gets annoying. It gets
yeah.
annoying.
So we've never talked about teams. We've never talked about anything because we always deviate to something else.
I know, man.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, it gets crazy real fast.
Hmm.
But yeah, we have to I don't know, are you allowed to do podcasts after you're an area director?
I have no idea.
This may be the last podcast you ever do for your term.
Well, no, because Matt Hopkins would do podcasts.
Yeah, but he didn't last very long.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't say anything.
I don't know. Is Leighton in here? Let me see. Is Leighton still in here? Leighton, is he allowed to do podcasts after he's the area 4 director? He would know. I've been trying to get Leighton to come on here.
I'm pretty sure you can. You just can't say classified stuff, you know?
Yeah. And I won't dig that out of you.
Well, Matt Hopkins would come out with Steger all the time.
Leighton, why the hell haven't you done my podcast then, Dick? He's so rude. But no, man. So we've covered a lot. I mean, we've gotten to a lot of stuff. But a lot of good ideas. I like a lot of your ideas, man. I think, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see what you're gonna do. I think you have a good attitude and a good grasp of what shooters want because I mean, from all accounts, you're about as deep as it gets on the shooting front. I mean, you've done this as a hobby, and now you've done this as a sport, and now you're doing it as a professional. I mean, who better? Plus, I mean, you come from a business background. I don't think a lot of people know that. They think of you just as a pilot, but they don't know you're also pretty successful in the business world.
Well, I don't know successful, but I've been doing it a long time.
Don't be
Yeah.
humble. Don't be humble. This isn't the time for humble. This
Hey,
podcast is not the time for humble.
by
You're
by
allowed
the
to
way,
be not humble here.
by the way, man, I got hired today to be a chief pilot of a company of a bank. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna come out of retirement
So
in a
you're
little bit.
unretiring again?
I'm unretiring, dude. Yeah,
Dude, congrats.
maybe for about a year, maybe for 2 years. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm like, okay, I'll go back to flying for a little bit.
So how does
And
that work when you're the chief pilot for a bank, right?
no,
Are you just on call?
you're on call all the time. The good thing about this outfit is they don't fly that much, so it gives me a lot of time to be able to fly, to shoot, and they usually fly just during the week, 1 or 2 days out of the week. Maybe
Okay.
most of the time it's just one day. So I think it's going to be a great job because they need somebody like me, and I think coming out of retirement is going to be good, man. Because I want my son to be able to fly with me at times and get experience, you know?
Yeah,
And I think that's going to be exciting, man. Two Roderos flying at the same time in the same airplane. It really hasn't happened before as pilots, you know? So that'll be cool, dude.
it's pretty
I'm
awesome.
actually trying to come out of retirement just to fly with my son, dude. That's a dream of mine. So flying in
That's
a
super
jet with him.
exciting.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
That's super duper awesome.
hmm
So
So,
so so whenever they call you, how when you're on, because you say you're on call all the time, so theoretically you could be sleeping and they say, "Hey, we got an emergency,
well,
get to
you
the
know,
jet."
my last job, dude, I did it for 10 years. It was a high roller from here. So we, you know, and big time party animals. So we were on call all the time, and he'd call us at 3, 4, 5 in the morning. With banks, it's not like that. They're structured. They know when they're gonna go. They're structured for the whole month. So
Oh, okay, so you
that's
know your
awesome.
pre-flight's long. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
there can be an emergency or there can be something where yes, you're gonna. But no, the awesome thing about this is an awesome bank, man. They're structured. They treat their people amazing. And one of the pilots that was there was a girl pilot that I helped a lot in her career, and she just went in to fly with Federal Express. So I'm super excited for her, especially in a man world. You know, when you see a girl like that, it's amazing to see girls, and especially this girl who's beautiful. She's a beautiful girl, and she's doing the Federal Express thing, and that's
That's
awesome to me
huge.
because I helped her a lot, and I really appreciate her calling me now and telling me, "Hey, I know that you shoot all the time. I know you don't have a lot of time, and I know you don't want to do it because you haven't done it in a long time, but there's a good job for you that I need you to get in there." And I said, "What is it?" Chief pilot in a company or in a bank and this and that. And she says, "They don't fly that much. You'll be able to shoot a lot, so don't worry about it." So I interviewed about 10 days ago, and then they called me today, and it's like, let's do it. So, yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Coming back
Mm-hmm.
out of retirement, dog. You're gonna miss
Yes,
sleeping
sir.
in, I bet.
Ah, God. Let's see what happens.
Well, if you're
Yeah.
only flying a couple days a week, and it's all
It's going to be
structured out, it
awesome,
can't be
dude.
too bad.
Yeah.
It's got to be
Yeah.
better than working for a high roller, because I can imagine that gets nuts. Because I've
Man,
worked for those people
I
in
had
oil
a
and
lot of
gas,
fun in
and
that job, dude. But
oh, I
man, it
bet.
was hard. It was hard. And that's actually why I retired from flying, dude, because the 10 years I had there, it's like, I can't do this shit no more, dude. There's no
Yeah,
way. I was out of my house all the time. I'd be missing so many things of my kids, you know. And then one day, you know, when my kid was doing Little League Baseball, I heard that song of George Brett that talks about not being there. You know, every breath you take. I forgot what the lyrics, but anyway, I heard that song and I'm like, this is me, man. I'm missing too much of my kids. I'm not gonna do it anymore.
yep.
And I just opened up a gun store, opened up a gun range, and forgot about flying. You know, but now that my kids are grown up, my kid's gonna be a pilot and all this. I think it's gonna be great to be able to fly with him for a little bit. You know, that'll be
Yeah, it's
cool.
gonna be legit.
Yeah.
How's Mama feel about it?
She's okay with it. You
It's
know,
like,
she's
get
okay with
the
it.
fuck
The
out of
the
here.
only the only thing I have to go to training in this particular airplane, and it's 17 to 18 days. I'm not looking forward to that, dude.
Ugh.
But
What are you
at
gonna be
least
flying?
a King Air 350. Yeah, I wish I was flying a jet, but it is what it is. It comes to a point in your life when you're young, you want to fly the best jet you can get into. As you get older and you have kids, it's the most money you can make. It don't matter the airplane, you know. The money is more
Facts.
important than the airplane to me. I've flown all kinds of airplanes, fast, slow, whatever, and I don't care. This is a good job for somebody my age, for somebody that wants to shoot a lot, not fly a lot. So it's gonna be good.
Yeah, this plane's gonna be a little slower because of how heavy your pockets are gonna be.
that's that's what I'm talking about, dude.
Hell yeah, brother. Well,
Yeah,
dude, congratulations. That's super exciting. So, new
thanks.
job, back into the pilot seat, back into the captain's chair,
Yeah,
and
and you know what?
and
The
soon to
training is
be Area
intense.
4 director.
Well, there you go. The training is in Tampa, so I'm making sure that I go to the one. Well, there's training somewhere else, but that way I can shoot while I'm there. I can go to Gorka. I can
Oh
go to,
yeah,
I can go to Frostproof and go shoot a little bit. So,
yeah.
yeah,
There's a lot of
everything's
good
planned
matches
out.
down there.
There you go. Yep.
Hell
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
brother. Well, dude,
Yep.
I think we have covered a lot, and now that I know we can have you back after you're the area director, that needs to happen
Yeah, man. You know that I love doing this thing. I
because I've
love
been saying
podcasts.
that area directors need to come on the podcast and talk, you know,
Yep.
and
Yep.
and get some information because I mean you'll get a lot of feedback, you know,
Yep.
it'll be good.
By all
But
means.
dude, this has been awesome. I can't think if Frostproof has like 20 people for USPSA. Uh, Frostproof probably has bigger club than that. But anyway, dude, this has been a pleasure. I always love having you on.
I appreciate it, dude.
You're a good friend of mine. I mean, we talk a lot, and
Oh yeah. I
I'm
love to
pumped.
shoot with you. Dude, I'm laughing because I'm remembering the Shade.
You can tell the story. I'm sure Shane will
Oh
appreciate it.
my God. It's so funny, man. So listen up, guys. We are at Area 6 and it's
Area 4.
Area 4. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Area 4 last year. And Shane is shooting in the squad and he slips and it's Trevor's turn to shoot. And when Shane comes out, I said, Shane, man, you slipped, dude. You almost beat it. Yeah, man. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. He said something. And then Trevor's there. You know, he's the next guy to shoot, turns around and says, get some new shoes, you fuck. And man, everybody laughed like crazy. That dude, I cannot stop laughing with that, dude. That was so funny, man.
Well, I
That
said it because I'm sitting there, I'm doing my make ready, and
I know,
y'all are standing.
because that's what's the most fun. The most funny about it is that you were
Yeah,
doing your make ready, and instead
yeah.
of doing your make ready, you're listening to what the shit's going in the back.
Well, it's hard
And
not to
oh
hear it.
my
I
god,
multitask really well.
that
Like I'm always
was,
listening, I'm
dude.
always thinking, right? So I'm standing there doing like I'm going over everything in my head. I'm going over my stage plan. I'm making ready. And I hear Shane like, yeah, dude, I don't know why I keep slipping. Like, and then I see him pull his foot up and he looks at the bottom and he goes, and he looks at the bottom of his shoe. And I just happened to turn around and see how bald it was. And I said, get some new shoes, you fuck. And then I kind of turned my headphones off so I couldn't hear him anymore. And then
Dude, it was
I
me,
heard you chuckling.
my wife. I think it was Siler's mom. Oh my
Yeah.
God, we were cracking up. And Shane just looked at us like, sorry for the bad words of this guy. You know, he went like that. And I'm like, dude, I was laughing. And every time I see you, I hear those words, man. And I crack up. It was so funny, dude. Oh, and then in Nationals, remember? Órale pendejos or something. It was
Oh,
so
yeah.
funny, dude, when you said that. Oh my God. They just come out of your mouth, dude. They just come
Yeah.
out, man. It is so funny, man. Come on,
Yeah.
pendejos or something. Oh
Yeah.
God, it was
Ándale,
so funny.
pendejos.
Ándale, pendejo. That was so funny,
I don't
man.
remember what that was for either.
Hey,
I
remember
say a
that?
lot of dumb shit
Oh,
randomly,
dude,
so
I was cracking, man. But hey, going back to that competition, remember the rudeness of that RO that DQ'd the PCC guy in our squad
at which match?
at Area 2? Remember there was a black guy shooting a PCC? You even talked about it yeah.
Oh
That
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
horrible, dude. That was horrible. If you're going to be an
Yeah.
RO, do it with love and respect or don't do it.
Yeah,
Period.
that guy should never be an RO again.
That was horrible. I forgot exactly what words they were to the guy,
I
but
wish
it was horrible.
honestly, I wish I could remember that guy's name, the RO,
Yeah.
because I would put that motherfucker on blast.
That should not.
I even told him I saw him walking to my car and I stopped him and was like, hey bro, that shit wasn't cool. Like
What did he say? Did he tell you anything?
he was like, oh man, it is what it is. I mean, you got to be tough on these guys, so they don't break the rules again. I'm like, nah, bro. Nah, if you said that shit to me, dog,
Look, I don't remember exactly how it happened or what happened, but I do remember the shooter said, "I thought you said load and make ready." Something like that. Do you recall anything like that?
he started making ready early,
Right. But
and
but I think the shooter said something like, "I thought you said load and make ready."
he did. He said,
Something
"I
like that.
thought you
I don't
said."
remember, right?
He said, "I thought you said make ready."
Yeah. And
Yeah,
you know what? Me being behind them, I also thought he had said that.
I thought
And
so too.
the next thing I know, this guy's going crazy and saying
Losing his
horrible,
shit. Yeah,
losing his shit. I honestly look. I respect ROs, man, and I always thank them. You know, I'm the first one there to say hi to them and say bye to them. I
yeah.
don't
It's
just say
another
bye to
thankless
them.
job.
It's horrible. It's a horrible job, and I respect anybody that loves to do it. It's hot, humid, sweaty, raining, cold, whatever.
Yep,
But if you're gonna do it with love, or don't fucking do it. Period. You know
exactly.
that what that guy
Because
did at
he
Area 2
lost
was
his
uncalled.
fucking
Because he
mind.
does that to me, I'm a very nice person, dude. But you do that shit to me, I'm gonna go crazy on your ass. There's no
Yeah,
that was lack of respect.
yeah. I'd have been
Yeah,
like, "Bitch, you talking to me?"
yeah,
Like,
yep.
better shut the fuck up. Mind your business.
That's
I know I
right.
broke the rules. Chill the fuck out. I thought you said
Yeah,
make ready. Like, but dude, he was going off to a
uh,
point where it got uncomfortable,
I know,
very
I know.
uncomfortable. And we all, I think it was me, you, and Christian all were like, "Hey, dude, chill out."
Yeah, no, no. It
Like
was
almost at the same time, we kind of like jumped in and we're like, "Dude, you need to chill the fuck out." Like,
no,
it's
no.
done.
And the shooter, he was a good shooter, by the way. He
Oh
was a
yeah,
good
yeah,
shooter. He was a great
yeah.
PCC shooter. He was like, what did
Befuddled.
I do? I mean, he had no idea what was going on because the guy went on a rant, dude, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, it is
The
what
guy
it is.
probably didn't know he was DQ'd until 20 seconds to get him berated.
I know.
You know what I mean? It's like Jesus Christ.
I know,
Yeah.
man.
So I
Wow.
saw that. I saw that RO and was like, dude, that shit wasn't cool at all,
I know,
bro.
at all. At
Like,
all. Hey, you doing Area 5?
nope.
Area 3?
Yes.
Okay. I'm doing
Area.
area
I'm
my
doing this year it's 2, 3, 4, um 6, and I think 7 possibly.
okay.
Maybe 7. Not sure on 7
I'll
yet.
tell you what, man. 7, I went one time. Great match. I love that match. But it took me 14 and a half hours to get there in an airplane and 16 and a half hours back. And I'm like, ain't doing this shit again.
Yeah.
And let me tell you a story, man. So it's the day after the match, and I'm at the hotel. And then all of a sudden, the alarms start going off, the fire alarms. I grab my two infinities, and I'm going down the stairs with my guns, dude. And it was funny because all the firemen are coming up with axes and all this kind of stuff. And I got my two guns in my hands, dude.
Wait,
And
you
I
just
walk.
got him like
No,
this?
no, no, no. I had them in the
Okay.
cases, right? But
I was like, whoa.
I was not about to leave my guns in there, man. Especially if they're
Yeah.
new guns. And I get downstairs, and Anthony and some people that were in the Max team were there. And what the hell are you doing? The place can burn down, but my guns ain't burning with it.
For real,
It
bro.
was, man, I didn't think about it. I didn't think about it either. Well, I did. My guns are right here with me.
I got the
It
bitches
was
right here.
so funny, dude. All kinds of guys, sheriffs and stuff coming up the stairs, and I'm going down with two guns, you know? Yeah, somebody had thrown a cigarette and started a place was burning.
Damn.
What you
Jesus.
got?
What?
No,
Are you
I
there?
thought you had
Can you hear
read
me?
something.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
can you hear me?
my phone was doing the low battery shit.
Oh, okay.
No, but yeah, that's hilarious. Like, fuck this hotel. Fuck my clothes.
Yeah, my guns. Yeah, fuck
Save
my
my
clothes.
guns, dog. I can
All
go to
the shit.
Academy and get more clothes. Yeah, I can't get more Infinities at Academy. Especially there to shoot
That's
a
right.
match. Could you imagine you flew all the way to shoot a match, you haven't shot it yet, and your guns burn up in a hotel room?
Oh my God, can you imagine that?
I'd be
No, man,
so
I'm telling
fucking
you, Area
mad.
7's a great match. It was in New Hampshire.
I like it.
I admire their motto on their license plates. Have you seen it?
Mm-mm.
It's live free or die.
Oh, yeah, I
Simple.
did see a lot of
Live
that. Yeah,
free
yeah.
or die.
Yeah,
Man, I saw that and I'm like, man, why do we have that in Texas?
yeah.
That's a great motto,
So
man.
we stayed in a place, or we went to eat. No, we stayed in a place where the township had outlawed fast food.
Hmm.
Can't get fast food in the entire county.
Really?
No fast food. It is illegal to have fast food. So every
Wow.
restaurant is like legit, like nice, fresh ingredients, like good menus. But yeah, it's illegal. They outlawed fast food. So
Wow.
you can't have a fast food restaurant within the city limits or some shit like that.
Damn.
Yeah, it was hilarious. And then I
Hmm.
kept saying their town name wrong, and they kept getting pissed, but I was making fun of them for it. So like I get into arguments with the waiters and waitresses because I'd be like, "Yeah, Charlotte's kind of weird," and they're like, "It's Charlotte," and I'm like, "You're fucking retarded. This place is this is Charlotte. It's spelled Charlotte. You can't church it up and call it Charlotte."
Right.
And after
Yeah.
my food came, of course, I'm not a psychopath. I didn't want my food spit in, but yeah, I like to
Yep.
poke fun when at the most inappropriate of times. It's kind of my thing.
What's the best match you've been to besides of the area matches? What do you think? Of course, area 2, but besides that,
Dragons Cup.
well, Dragon's not it's not an area
Oh, best area match.
area match.
Area
Besides
6,
area
hands down.
6, where
Yeah,
was
6
it?
this
I
year,
didn't go
hands
to
down.
6 this year. Where was it? OK
It
Corral.
was no, it was in the Carolinas somewhere.
Oh,
North
okay,
Carolina.
okay.
I can't
That's
remember.
right. That's right. That's
Dude, I
right.
go to too many matches, bro. They kind of all run
Yeah,
together. Like I
I'm
remember the
about the
match,
same.
but the towns run together. I
Right.
can remember the match. I can remember every stage. I can remember almost every target. I can remember everything, but
Right.
the towns run together
Yeah.
really bad.
Sometimes it happens to me. Are you doing IPSC Nationals or Area 4?
Uh, Area 4.
Yeah. Well, IPSC is a buy year anyway. So
Yeah, if it counted, I would go.
yeah. Right.
Harrington said, "Imagine getting your right to eat Chick-fil-A taken away." I'd be friggin' pissed. But anywho, well, you want to wrap this some bitch up?
Yes, sir. You
Sweet
wrapped
man.
up, brother. I
Now
have
that I know
nothing.
I can have you back, we're doing this
Cool.
a lot when you're an area director. Just get ready.
There you go.
Every
I'm
time
ready,
something
dude.
controversial happens, I'm gonna be like, Mel. No, I'm just kidding. I won't get you in trouble.
No, I'm sure that's only so many stuff that you can disclose. I mean, so many stuff that you can say and some stuff you can't. But we'll find out.
Yeah,
I'm
we
ready.
will. I'm
I'm ready.
excited, man. I'm excited. I'm pumped. I know I have a sneaky suspicion you're gonna win.
You think?
Yeah, I do. I know you're, up in the air about it, but I think you will. I think you're gonna win. I'm excited. It should be good, man. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be
I
good.
think
I'll be here. I'll be here to talk you off the ledge when you're like, man, fuck
well,
this job.
let me be honest with you, man. I think you're a big influence into all of this. I'd like to talk to you on some other stuff and be more explicit about it.
Yeah.
And I every time I listen to your podcast, I think you have great ideas, man. You know, and just
You
like I said, it's far fetched. Yeah, it's far fetched until somebody does it.
Exactly. Exactly. And I'll be honest, a lot of the ideas that I pitch on this show, some of them aren't mine. And
Mhm.
I have people hit me up. Sometimes multiple people hit me up about the same ideas. And they'll say, "Hey, what do you think about this? You think there's a way to make this work?" And I'll discuss it with them and we'll talk about it. And then sometimes I mention it on here. And I tell people like, "Hey, I've talked about this with people. This is what they want." And
Right.
I don't know. It's hard because this is my sample size. Like this show gets what each episode does between like 15 and 25,000 downloads, somewhere between there. And then
Wow.
it'll get probably 400 to 800 individual viewers when we do the lives. And then the YouTube sucks. I got nerfed on the YouTube right away after my first video. I did my first video with Black Rambo and got banned. So my YouTube gets no exposure. So anybody listening, if you can go on there, like, comment, and subscribe and help me get past the ban hammer, that would be great. Thank you. But a lot of people listen to it. It's a big sample size, especially internationally, right? But for the US competitors, I mean, I get a couple thousand opinions quite often.
Honestly, from the beginning that I started watching you, I think I watched your first episodes, man. And like
You
you said,
did.
I was one of the first ones on there. You've come a long ways, dude. I mean, don't take it wrong, but
No, yeah, yeah.
I really, really like your podcast and your questions and your knowledge. I really respect the knowledge that you have.
I appreciate it.
And you're very good to talk, dude. You talk very, very well.
Well, it's like anything.
You're still an
Uh,
asshole, okay? But
oh, I'm a ginormous piece of shit. I keep trying to tell people, like, I get so many people hit me up, like, you're a good dude. And I'm like, you got that from my podcast? I'm a piece of shit. Like, I'm surprised people even let me do this.
yeah, no,
But,
I seriously, I love your podcast, and if I don't watch it, it's because I'm doing something. Because every time you're gonna come in, and he didn't tell me what the hell, and I'm there watching you.
I started putting a countdown in there so people can start reminding themselves. You can put like a reminder if you want. But,
And then at the beginning, you were restricted to an hour, right?
yeah, when I first started doing this, it only let me go an hour. And
Why is
then
that?
after the
Why was that?
Instagram used to only support an hour, and then they
Okay.
changed that shortly after I started the podcast. Because
Shortly after I
originally
came in to
huh?
your shortly after I came to your podcast, because I remember I called you and I said, "Hey, how come they got an hour and a half and I only got fucking 55 minutes?" You know?
Yeah, I think my first three episodes were an hour, and it's funny because I was like, that's not enough time.
Yeah.
And so I started looking into other avenues. I was going to move it to Facebook or YouTube or something. And then I emailed Instagram about it, their help, and said, how do I extend this? And when the update happened, it sent me an email saying, hey, your request has now been fixed through an update. We've been working on this for some time, blah, 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 blah. And I
Cool.
was like, oh shit. And now they allow 4 hours.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, and you
so it
took
can,
it for you took it for real, because the next podcasts were that long. And I was sitting there like, "Oh my God. Oh my God." But it was good. So I was there the 4 hours, dude.
yeah. It's funny. And, I do the podcast live, but I think people forget that, people don't forget, but I have like a lot of people who watch it from start to finish. And some people who go in and out, in and out, in and out, and then they go, dude, I missed a bunch of shit. And I'm like, you can go back and listen. Like, and if you want to see the video, it's on YouTube. It's
Yeah,
not like this whole thing. You can watch the live all over again on YouTube.
yeah,
But
that's cool.
so if you miss some funny shit like Bill Duda trying to shove a dildo into a PCC, like it's on YouTube. It's there. And they even put the minute marks in the comments. Some of the people who have watched it put the minute of when that happens in the comments. So like you can find it. Um, but no, man, I mean, it gets a lot of views. It gets a lot of, but it's just like anything, repetition, you get better. I still think I suck at this. Like when I
No,
critique
I
myself,
think you're very
I have
good,
a
dude.
very hard time listening to the podcast back through without just destroying myself. And, but I mean, I know I'm getting better at it, and I hear people say I'm getting better at it. So, I mean, hey, maybe in 5 years it won't suck nearly as bad, but who knows?
No, I think you do a great job, dude. I really do. I
Yeah,
really do.
well, the crazy part is I've done this all from my phone, my cell phone.
Right.
My cell phone is on a $20 stand I bought off Amazon. And, but obviously it's been a little crazy these last couple months. I've shared a little bit of it on Instagram, but we finally got my podcast studio almost done. So I've got like a
Okay.
full blown studio,
That's
and
cool.
it's gonna be legit. It's got my big, it's got black shiplap behind me with a big Bangin Brass
Cool.
sign, like a bar sign, and then I'm
Uh-huh.
gonna have all the pro mics and everything. And my brother builds like gaming PCs,
Mm-hmm.
so he's building me a PC to support everything and run it. So I'm gonna start. It's gonna get pretty legit really fast, but then I can start doing in-person interviews when people come to Houston.
That's cool.
So
Hey,
if
what part of
anyone's,
Houston do you live?
I live in Katy.
Oh, you live in Katy. Okay. Okay. Cool. So you're
Yeah.
real close to Wally's.
Oh, I'm 10 minutes away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to go to Wally's. I haven't been there in a while, dude. There's always something going on at the same time, another match or something. But I really like that match. It's a good
Holler at
match.
me, dude. I'm in one of my spare bedrooms right now.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
You can come chill with me.
Awesome.
I got all the room. Tom, my wife is she's much much better. Thanks for asking.
What happened?
Um, so we found. I mean, we've been trying to conceive for quite a
Okay.
while.
Uh-huh.
Over a year, and we thought we accomplished that mission, and then found out it's an ectopic pregnancy at
Mm.
our first ultrasound when we thought we were going to find out the gender. So a little bit of an emergency situation. Ectopic pregnancies can be fatal.
Right.
So
Sorry.
rush to the emergency room. Obviously, had to terminate the pregnancy. Um, you know, Emotional roller coaster for her and
Sorry
myself.
to hear
But
that, man. Yeah, that's an emotional. Yeah,
yeah,
it's real
yeah.
bad for women. Yeah. Well, it'll come, man. I think that
Oh yeah, it'll
we
happen.
had a
Oh, you cut out. Hold on. You cut it. It cut out. I couldn't hear you.
yeah. My phone was ringing. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Oh
you
yeah,
now.
I was just saying it happens to a lot of people, and it's something that we not might want to remember or talk about, but it happens a lot more than you would think. So,
Oh yeah.
you know,
It was funny because when I posted about it, because I wasn't going to, because I don't like sharing my problems, but I was like, you know what, you need some prayers. Let's just post and see if
right.
make sure
I
get
didn't
some
see
prayers.
that,
Because
man. I'm sorry. I didn't see
oh
it at
no no
all.
no no, you're good. It was on a story, so it only went up for 24 hours. But
Mhm.
dude, hundreds of people reached out.
Wow.
And hundreds of people were like, hey, we've been through something similar. It's going to be okay, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. So then me and my wife were like, okay, we feel a little bit better about this. Obviously, it's a pretty normal occurrence,
Right.
so it was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
It was nice. It's amazing
Yeah.
because
And
everybody only sees the negative side of social media sometimes, but
right.
there's so
Right.
many positives if you know how to
Exactly.
tap into it.
Yeah. When changing the subject to another thing, but basically around the same thing, when I had a guy commit suicide in my range, and he didn't really die there. He died 2 hours later um, in the hospital. But it's amazing how many indoor ranges called me that same day. And they were reaching out, giving me, it's happened to us. Don't worry about it. Don't, if somebody comes from the family and they want to see where the person did it, don't let them see it because they might pull a gun and do it themselves there. All kinds of things, man. One of the best things they told me was if you have somebody that comes by themselves and they want to rent a gun, if you don't know them, don't do it, you know, because they're not going to come with a friend and do it. They're going to
Yeah.
come by themselves. And it was amazing how many people reached out through the internet and through calls of something that happened. So yeah, a lot of the stuff is negative, but there is some positive in social media.
A lot.
But I'm sorry it happened, dude, and it can only get better, right?
No, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
you'll accomplish it sooner or later. You'll have a little one.
Yeah. I know,
Yeah.
I know. We're excited. I mean, we're, now we get to go back to the fun part, which is trying. Uh,
There you go. You got to practice a lot,
yeah,
and then it'll
exactly.
happen.
It was funny because the doctor gave us this paper that said, after X amount of days you can do it, and then it said during the days of 16 to 18 during the month or whatever, you got to do it X amount of whatever and all this shit. So I said, so I have to do it 16 to 18 times a day? Fuck yeah. And my wife was like, no, that's not what she's saying. And the doctor's like, well, I mean, that would help. And I'm like, see, I mean, hey, look at this. We're
Having
going for it here.
experience. There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Yeah,
But no. Yeah, it's something that happens, but we got through it.
yeah.
But yeah, the podcast studio is coming up fast. I
That's gonna
mean,
be awesome, dude.
it's going to be legit. So then when we have like, I'm going to start doing some in-person interviews and some stuff like that. That'd be pretty cool.
That'll be cool. Awesome.
Yeah. I'm also
Yep.
going to find a way to, whenever I go to big matches, like big area matches or really any match, I got some mobile stuff that I'm going to start taking with me.
Well, just like Brian Conley.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
he's got the setup, bro.
Right. Yeah, he's got a real.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, he's got a real
People are,
nice setup.
yeah, he does. People are calling me. It's the time of the night when people start calling.
Yeah, right. Well, dude, we'll go ahead and wrap this sucker up, and
All right, brother.
we're definitely going to do this again because every time I have you on, it is just full of humor and good information and fun. And I say, when does the Area 4 wrap up? Area 4 voting?
Of July. That's
When
when
does
we'll
it?
know. 16th of July. That's when we'll know.
16th of July. That's when we
Yeah.
know if you'll win or not, if you won
Right.
or not.
Exactly.
Okay, so the
Yeah.
17th of July, we'll, we'll
Yep.
do it. We'll do
That's right.
another one.
There you go. Okay.
Let's do it.
Awesome.
Awesome,
Alrighty,
brother. Well, dude, I can't thank you enough for coming on here. This has been such a pleasure, brother.
Thank you, man. It's a pleasure for me to be here with you all the time. Always a pleasure to shoot together and listen to your crazy stuff, man. I love it.
Hell yeah, brother. Well, we're going to do a shit ton more of it.
Alrighty, bro. Well, listen, say hi to the family for me and we'll be in touch, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Same to you, brother. Tell everybody I said hi.
Love you, brother. Take care.
Love you too, brother.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Mayor Rodero, ladies and gentlemen. Always fun to have him on. He's such a cool guy. If you're in Area 4, vote for Mel. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you, vote for Mel. He's the shit. Good guy. He's gonna get a lot of good stuff done. I like him a lot. If you listen to this far, especially if you're watching this far, you're a fucking champion. And if you made it to the end of the episode, I'm gonna do you a favor. I'm gonna give you a code to use on Ghost Holster USA. Bangin Brass 10 gives you 10% off. Go get it. And then also, if you're interested in buying any Atlas Gunworks guns, hit me up, send me a DM, contact me somehow, and I will help them help you. Also, please go like and subscribe on the YouTube. That would help. And then if you can leave a review, I would appreciate it. On your favorite podcast platform of any sort, you can go on your podcast platform and give me 5 stars and leave a cool review. I'd appreciate it. That helps the podcast. But thank you so much for listening. I do appreciate it. You guys make this possible. I enjoy having everyone here. And every time I do these live on Instagram, I love hearing from everybody. So if you listen to the podcast and don't watch it on Instagram, try to come watch a few of them on Instagram. Come on, comment. We'll talk about it. And I'm going to start doing at least one a month where I bring on random people. So I'm just going to bring on people from the comments, and we're going to see where the podcast goes. It could either be really good or it could be really bad. Who knows? But that's how we get better at these things. But thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the range.